Hello everyone! In this video I'm going to be giving an overview of my Inktober as well as my final thoughts on the glass dip pens and the inks that came with them. I think I will start with the pens and the ink real quick, and then I'll just talk about my overall thoughts for this Inktober. But before we get to talking about my thoughts about this Inktober and my thoughts on the pens and the inks, I want to just quickly tell you what you're looking at. This is the final picture for Inktober. This is day 31, and the final prompt was your own 2 words. So my 2 words were apathy cat. Apathy cat has been a long-standing Inktober character. I made it with my friend a long time ago. Inktober has been quite a character-filled thing over the years. I created Audrey, Apathy cat, Zamai Vatra, and I feel like there's another one, but I can't remember because I didn't draw that one that much, I guess. But at least 3 characters have come out of Inktober that I still draw. Well, actually 2. I don't really draw Zamai Vatra. I have a whole idea for Zamai Vatra, but I just haven't done it because it's way too complicated. So 2 I draw, 1 I have plans for, but who knows if I'll ever do them. But yeah, this is Apathy Cat, and I am using the dip pens at the start, and then as I go, I use other things besides dip pens to finish out the piece. Also, I'm sorry for the horrible lighting. I actually recorded this in the morning, but because it's a gloomy day, it looks not very good, but I tried, I'm sorry. So, I'm going to start with the dip pens, and then we're going to just, talk about the other stuff at the end. As for the dip pens, I ended up using them less than I had hoped. I wanted to use the majority of Inktober. I only ended up using them maybe 10 times, if that. I have to count, and I don't feel like doing that. The main reason why wasn't even the dip pens, it was the ink. And not even the ink, it was the ink bottles. The ink bottles frustrated me so much that on like day 10 or 11, I just said, screw it, I'm not touching these things anymore. I don't want to deal with this ink. And I did try India ink. So let's talk about the pens real fast. I like the pens. I like them, I think, more than the metal dip pens that I've used and the fountain pen. But it doesn't like India ink, and I think it's because India ink is too thick. Now, that being said, I did try it. It didn't work out, and it works really well. The glass, the pens, they work really well with the ink they came with. Now, the ink they came with is water-based. I know this because it reactivates with water, as opposed to alcohol-based or whatever India ink is. I don't actually know what that is. It doesn't reactivate with water, as long as it's dry. It does reactivate with alcohol, which I found out the hard way. One of my pictures has a smudge on it. We're just pretending that's a shadow. But it likes the water-based ink, but here's the problem with the water-based ink. First of all, it's confusing because it looks like there's gold in it, but no gold comes up when I use it, so I don't know what that's all about, because if you look at the bottle, it looks like there's like gold flecks in it, but I don't see any gold when I use it. I don't know what that's about, like I said, but it's the bottles. The bottles were the thing that made me not want to use the dip pens. So when you open the bottle, there's multiple steps to this. When you open the bottle, fresh, never opened before, there is a little peg in there to make sure it didn't leak in transit. That's fine. Some ink splatters and it's a pain, so make sure you don't have your picture near you. I kind of expect that the first time you open it. What I didn't expect, and the reason why I hardly did dip pens like I wanted to, was because when you close the bottle, there's a little pocket in the lid, even though it's closed tightly, that gets ink stuck in it, and when you open it, you get ink all over your hands, all over your bottle, and all over your desk. Doesn't that just sound like a fantastic time? So I got tired of that, and it really frustrated me, so I was just like, I'm not doing this, because like I said, the India ink doesn't like the dip pens, because it's too thick. Unless it's user error, which is entirely possible. So I did not end up using the glass dip pens as much as I wanted. I ended up doing a lot more traditional pens, and I also ended up coloring a lot more than I had planned. So I guess we could just segue into how Inktober itself felt for me. This Inktober went by super fast. Now, last Inktober was a very tumultuous time for me. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Let me have it. And it was a very bad time of my life. So I fell behind a lot. And the years before that, 2019, 2020, and 2021, I had to do Inktober while working. In 2 of those years, 19 and 20, I was also homeless. So I had to work, be homeless, and do Inktober. So the fact I finished that at all wasn't a miracle. And last year, honestly, it was a miracle, but for entirely different reasons I'm not going to get into. This is the most peaceful Inktober I have had in years, if ever, because, yeah, lots been going on in the past 10 years, and this is my 8th Inktober. So, this was a very peaceful Inktober. Everything went by super quick. I fell behind maybe 2 or 3 times, but that was actually by choice, not like, oh frick, I'm falling behind. It was literally one time I felt kind of sick, so I was like, I'm not gonna make myself sit up when it's hard to hold my body weight up. I'll just lay down. Inktober will wait, the drawing will still be there when I want to finish it. And then a different time my shoulder hurt, and how I sit, I had put my arm up and I couldn't do that, so it's like, well, I can't help that, I'm just gonna not. And a different time I just didn't feel like drawing. And I didn't really fall behind. I got kind of behind on Instagram a few times, but like it's Instagram, I get 3 likes. It's not like anyone was eagerly waiting for me to upload anyway. So it was a very peaceful feeling. And also this is the first time I felt like I was allowed to draw whatever I want. And you can see it because I have drawn some weird stuff this time that I would have never drawn normally. And it's kind of liberating, and I like that. Like, I didn't draw anything, like, bad, but it was just like, you know, I've never drawn, like, a fairy with piercings and tattoos before. I've never drawn piercings or tattoos, really, to be honest. I mean, I draw, like, earrings, but never, like, anything else. So that was fun. And mermaids and fairies, stuff that I draw now that I didn't draw a while ago because of reasons. So there's a lot of that. A lot of the stuff was kind of abstract in a way, which I've never done before. It was a very creative Inktober for me. Normally I kind of stick to what I know and that's it. I did go out of my comfort zone quite a few times, and it was nice. I really liked this Inktober. I like most of the drawings I did. There's a few I don't particularly like, but I mean, you're not gonna love everything. It is 31 drawings in a month. All of them can't be good. I mean, unless you're like, you know, the person who created Inktober, or like half the people on Instagram. But that's not really fair, because those people normally work on those drawings for 4 months and post it in Inktober and act like it was just Inktober, so that doesn't really count. But anyway, I'm happy with this Inktober. I had fun this Inktober. It was also really fun because my friend is doing Inktober for the first time this year, and it's just fun seeing what she came up with. She followed the official prompt, and I followed a different prompt. But it was still fun watching what she came up with. And yeah, it's been a great Inktober. I'm glad it's over, but I also enjoyed every second of it. So that's my thoughts of Inktober and those poor unfortunate ink bottles. I don't want to talk about them anymore. They make me angry. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you like the picture. Apathy Cat is too good for your sugary confections. Screw those confections. He wants tuna. I will see you all later. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, all that fun stuff. And I will see you for the Inktober sketchbook tour, which should be coming out in a few days. And I will see you all later.